here. You just click here, go out of the browser, and if you after an hour or so you go back into Facebook, you go straight into your profile page and you don't have to log in. Okay, so basically that is possible because Facebook sets a cookie when you check the Remember Me, okay, and sets a cookie in your browser, okay, to store information about the user ID, okay, and what that cookie says to the server is that I want to go in, but I want to jump the login because I checked the Remember Me checkbox, and by doing so, I don't want to log in each time I want to go to Facebook. Okay, I just want to go straight to my profile. So using cookie, okay, cookie has an encrypted data, okay, with your name and sometimes your password, to just jump that page from the login, to jump the page of the login form, okay, and go straightly to your profile, okay, and that's what we are going to do and apply to our CRUD test site, okay. So let's go to localhost test site home. Okay, so we have here our form, and each and every time we go here, localhost test site home PHP, which is basically our welcome page where we have the login. We have always to log in, right? And if I go out and come back, I have always to log in each and every time I want to start a session. Okay. What I'm going to do is in this form here, after password down here, I'm going to put a checkbox saying Remember Me. And if I type my name and password, and I'm a registered user, of course, already, I type my name and password and check the checkbox of Remember Me. When I log in, I normally go in as usual, and if I go out of the browser and I go back in and type this URL, I will not have to go through this login process. I go straightly direct to the users area. Okay, but I'm going to show you basically how this works. So let's do a new register. Basically, if I type, we will use this register name in this tutorial. So let's type, let's say, rock, and let's type here rock at hotmail.com. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Choose picture, images, GPG, open, and let's go here, register. Okay, perfect, and login now. So rock 1 2 3 4 5, login, and okay, we don't have access because I've made already some changes to the users.php. So okay, let's leave this for now. And the first thing I want you guys to do is to go and open I want you guys to delete users.php. We will not use this file anymore. We don't need this. Okay, so delete that file, and let's go back and let's go to home.php. Okay, where this is where we have our form. So here at the top, I want to make, first of all, if condition, okay, with PHP. So to do that, we have to open PHP. And let's see, down here, we are going to use all this HTML code inside PHP, so you can close PHP at the bottom, okay? And here I'm going to type if let me say if parentheses, and inside the parentheses I'm going to type if is set parentheses again, and for the first time you are going to see the variable or global variable cookie. Okay, as this cookies global variable works similarly like the session global. Okay, so the cookie we have not set the cookie yet. Okay, so we have to set the cookie, and then we can use this global. But I'm going to make this if statement now, and use even if we don't have yet the cookie stored, I'm going to use this cookie super global already. And what you're going to type here inside is the name of the cookie itself. So the name is going to be test site. Okay, and I will explain you later how to set a cookie. We will set the cookie in the, not in here, but in the login.php. Okay, so when you go in and log in for the first time and you check the remember me, a cookie will be set. Okay, so now what I have to type here is open curly braces, close curly braces, and here else, open curly brace, and on here close curly braces. Okay, so in here what we will type is if a cookie test site exists, redirect me to the page, the users area page. Our users area page was users.php, but because I've deleted that file, I'm going to build a new file, which is going to be called enter.php. Okay, this is going to be a new file that we have to create yet. And down here I'm going to type else. Okay, so if the user doesn't have a cookie, which basically means that if the user didn't check the remember me button, echo, I will always echo the login form. Okay, so pretty simple. And now what we have to do here is, you see that you have a bunch of words here in black font. So this is because we are using double quotes in here, and we should use single quotes. So we have to change all this. Okay, there is no other way to do this, so we have to change this to single quotes. Single quotes. Whenever you see, if you see double quotes, just change it for single quotes. Single quotes, single quotes, and single quotes. Okay, we don't need this with 10, so let's take this out, and we don't need this with 10 here as well. So more single quotes here, and name, and here, and here, and here, here. And finally here. Okay, so I think that's it. Oh, and here as well. Okay, so now what we have to do is remember me input checkbox here. Okay, after password. So we can copy this line of code where the password is, copy and paste it here, paste it, and we can delete the maximum length, and the type is going to be type checkbox, and the name is going to be remember. And here we're going to type remember me. Okay, let's save this. And if we now go to home.php, we don't have any cookie set, so we will see the HTML code that has the form. So we will see the form. So let's see if that works. Let's type here home.php, enter, and we have, let me see, line 39, where is it? Oh, okay. So the problem is that we have here, oh, okay, so echo double quotes, and we have to end double quotes in here, and semicolon. Save that. Let's go back, refresh, and oops, sorry. So home, okay, a cookie is set. A cookie set. Cookie test site is set. Okay, so what we have to do, a cookie. I have the cookie set in the browser because I did this code before, and I tried and to see this if the code worked, and I was using this browser, so I have the cookie set for this to our test site. So what I have to do is go to options. You don't need to do this, okay? But I need to do this and clean here. I have to clean all the cookies. Okay, eliminate cookies. Clean. Okay, so now this is cleaning all the cookies that I have in the browser. So if I refresh now, I should let me restart Chrome. Okay, localhost home, enter, and here we are. Okay. So now we don't have any cookie set in the browser. So if cookie is set, redirect me. Okay, that's why I was being redirected to the file enter.php that it doesn't exist yet. So I had a cookie set with this name, test site, but I don't have that anymore. So else run this HTML code, which is a form, the login form. Okay, so this is it. So this means that I don't have now any cookie set. So if I click here, okay, and I'm a registered user, type my name and password, click login. What I want to do is to set a cookie, and that cookie has to have stored the name of the user, and then we can use that name for that user. So each and every time that name is stored or tries to go in, okay, to the session, I'm going to use the global cookie to grab that or remember that that user, and I can use the cookie or the global cookie to say to make some conditions, if statements, to be able to make the user to go and jump the login form and go straightly to the test site users area. Okay, so what we have to do now is to go and edit the login.php. Okay, so let's go, and we will have to set a cookie, okay, for the user. So home, where is it? Login.php, open that, and now let's go back, let's go down here, and this is after this if condition, okay, and this one, this is what the this is what will be processed if the user has a valid name and valid password. So this is where I'm going to set the cookie, okay? So if the user is a valid user and the name and password are valid name and password, I'm going to set a cookie and then redirect this guy to not users but to enter.php, okay? So let's set the cookie, and I'm going to show you how to do that. It's pretty simple. So now we have to type in here before header. First of all, we type an if condition, and this if condition is going to say if post remember, okay, which is the name of the checkbox here, okay. So, and this is equal to on, okay. This means if that checkbox is clicked, okay. So if post, and we have to put this between parentheses, if post remember is equal, exactly equal to on, run this code here, which is going to be a set cookie, okay. And let me see here. First of all, we will create expire variable, and this variable will hold time, okay, the function time that we saw in the last video, the function time plus, and now we have to type the number of seconds, okay, the number of seconds that we want to set this cookie in the browser of our user, okay. After that time, the cookie will not work anymore, okay. It will not work, and the user will not be able to enter the website anymore without logging in, okay. So, for example, Facebook, I'm sure that Facebook puts here a lot of seconds, maybe for a year or two, okay. So the cookie will work for a year or two, or maybe more, I don't know. So, but for this case, simple case, I'm going to put only 86,400 seconds, which is 24 hours, okay. So we will have a cookie for a day, okay. So now what I have to type in here is set cookie parentheses, and this is the function, built-in function in PHP that sets the cookie on, okay, in the browser of our user. And the first thing we have to type between single quotes is the name of that whatever name we want to get to the cookie, okay. So the cookie will be remembered by our code with this name. And remember that we did global variable cookie, and then square brackets and I typed test site. Remember that here in home here. Okay, so this is the name referred. This is the reference name of the cookie. Okay, so the global cookie is going to grab the cookie test site. So this is the name of the cookie, and this is what we have to put in here. This set cookie is going to set a cookie with the name test site. Okay, now we have to type comma, and now we have to give a value to the cookie. Okay, and the value that I'm going to give to the cookie is the name or the username of the user. Okay, the user that is presently using this session. And to grab that, we have to type post and name. You can do either, post name here, okay, which basically is the session name. So post name, and now we type comma again, and now finally we type expire, okay, which is the time to expire, okay, the cookie. Now let's go here, expire, and blah blah blah, and okay, we are done. So let's save this, and okay, that's it. Okay, this is part 2 of cookies and remember me checkbox. So let's continue. We already made the line of code to set a cookie, okay, and expire the cookie after 24 hours. So now we will have to open, I think I already told you to delete users.php. Yes, we don't have the users.php anymore here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build a new file, which is the file that will have the code that will run the code when in the user's area page. Okay, so if I log in and everything is good, I will be redirected to this page, enter.php, which is the page that I'm going to build now. So let's save this as enter.php. Okay, and what we have to build to type in this page, it's pretty simple. Session start. Okay. Session start, and now an if condition, and this condition will say if is set session name, if is set session name, or if is set cookie test site, okay, the name of the cookie, do this code here, okay, else do this other code here. And this is pretty simple. What we will type here is what I'm saying here is if a session name or a cookie exists, okay, I want to include session.php, else echo not allowed. Okay, and what will this this will avoid is for anybody that is not registered and doesn't have a username or password, go to the URL and type enter.php or session.php and go into the users area and use our website if he's not a registered user. So we want everybody to enter our webpage to be a registered user. Okay, so I'm saying here if he has a session or a cookie, he can go in. Okay, so if he has a session, it's because he's registered, and if he has a cookie, it's because he's registered as well. So he can go in and proceed to session.php. Else, he's not allowed. Okay, or instead of this, let's type access denied. Access denied. Okay, perfect. Basically, this page, enter.php, is a security page. Okay, it just checks if there is a session or a cookie to allow the user to go in. So the next step is to go to session.php. Okay, so if we have a session or a cookie, we will go to session.php. So let's go to session.php, open. Where is it? Session, here it is. So open this. And okay, so this is going to be basically our web page. Okay, our first users web page. Okay, that we will see. And the first thing I want to do here is to include here at the bottom. I'm going to include, type include links.php. Okay, and this will load the links.php, which holds all the functions, the links to our the search function and the delete function and all that. So let's save this, include links.php. If you go back to login, if you go back and open to the enter.php, where is it? Enter.php. If you open that file again, I've typed here include session.php, but if you want, you can use also the header, okay, and location, okay, blah blah blah, session.php. Okay, in this case, I'm going to use include, but you can use the redirect code as well if you want to. So now we go to session.php. Let's go to session.php. Okay. Now here at the bottom, what I have to type here is an if condition saying, and you can delete all this, and here as well. Okay, so what I'm going to type here is if is set, or if is not set, session, if it's not set a session name, if it's not set a session name, and if is set a cookie named test site, which is our cookie, you have to do this little thing here. And this is a very important line of code. What I'm saying here is if there is not a session name, okay, and there's a cookie, do this code that I'm going to do now. So basically I'm saying if the user is coming through to the user's web page without logging in because he only has a cookie and he doesn't have a session. If the user doesn't log in because he has a cookie, he will not have a session set. So this is the condition for that case, okay? For a user that will come in with the cookie, okay? So if there's not a session and there is a cookie, you have to set a session name. We have to set a session because through all the PHP files that we have, all the scripts that we have, we are using a lot of session name, session password, and a lot of session global variables. So if we only have a cookie and we don't have a session, either pictures or I don't know, maybe some other posted forms will not work, okay? And some of the scripts, the important scripts that we have to our functions will not work at all, okay? Because we use a lot of session globals with values. So if we don't have a session set, session will not work, okay? Neither of the session global variables. So if there's not a session and there is a cookie, set a session name, okay? And to set a session name, we have to type, it's pretty simple. We have to type session name. It's going to be equal to the value of cookie, cookie test site. Okay, the cookie test site itself, the test site is only the name of the cookie, but the value of this, okay, cookie test site, the value of this inside of it, it has stored the name of the user. Okay, remember that we did this and here, okay? So the name of the cookie itself is test site, but the value of the cookie is the posted name, okay? So with this simple line of code, we are setting the session name equal to the name of the user, of the login user, okay? So with that, only with that, the rest of the global variables sessions will work perfectly, okay? They will have, again, the name of the user as a session name. So it will, all the code will run perfectly now. So basically that's it. And what I just remembered right now is that, let me see here. Okay, what I just remembered and what I just came to me right now is that we don't need enter.php. Okay, we will not need this. Okay, because if we log in and everything is good, header, we can be sent straight away to session.php. Save that, and we will go directly to this code here. What we will have to do here is this, put this if condition here. Okay, so we have to copy this and put this here, paste it, okay, and open curly braces, and at the bottom close curly braces, else, and here we have to type echo access denied. Okay, so that's much better, and we will not need this file here, enter.php. Okay, let's leave enter.php for now here, okay, because I'm not sure if this session start will not create a little bit confusing to our code. Okay, so in here, let's copy this, and here paste session start as well, copy that. Okay, I think this code will work with no problems. So now the next thing we have to do is to go and open the logout, open that, and we have to make some little changes here as well. So after session start and before session destroy, we have to unset the cookie. Okay, so each time we click logout, for example, if you are in Facebook and you are in your profile and you click logout, basically you kill the session and you kill the cookie. Okay, so you'll have a session destroy and you'll have a cookie destroy. And then the remember me checkbox will not work anymore, because if you try to go in again, you log out from Facebook, and if you go out from your browser and open your browser or restart the browser again and you go to Facebook, you will go directly to the login form, okay? And you'll have to type the login and your password again to go to your profile. You'll not be redirected directly to your profile without first logging in, okay? Why is that? Because you logged out, okay? So if you logged out, you kill the session and you kill the cookie, okay? And basically the checkbox remember me will not work, okay? And the cookie will not remember you because you don't have a cookie at all. So let's we have to create an unset cookie here, and to unset cookie we have to type variable expire equals to time and minus the same time that we gave to the life of the cookie the first time, which was 86,400. Okay, and that will expire the cookie. And now here what we have to type is set cookie again, okay, and the name of the cookie, test site, and in here we type the value of the cookie, which is the session, name, and of course the time or the minus time that will expire. So basically we are saying that if the cookie has the lifetime of this time, these seconds, if we log out, we will take these seconds out of the cookie, so the cookie will die. Okay, so let's refresh that, save that, and okay, basically that's it. We are done with the logout.php, and we will try that later on. And enter.php will not use this, but don't delete this file. It may be useful later on. And okay, I think that's it. The last thing I want you guys to do is to open your links.php, and we will not need this anymore. Okay, the register, take that out, and you can delete this as well. Home. Okay, save that. And now I want you guys to go open update.php, delete.php, and search.php, and delete the line of code that has the include logins.php. So let's open update.php, open update.php, and down here, take this out, save. The next one is delete.php, so open delete.php, where is it? Here. Open it. Let's go down here. Let's delete this. Save. And search.php. Search.php. Here, here, and here. Okay, done. Okay, so after that, the only thing that we still have to do is to type HR here and HR here, and basically that's it. I think that's all, and I'm gonna leave this for now, the video for now, and I'm gonna leave the testing, our testing of this whole code that we did for the next video, okay? And see that the remember me works, and the cookies will work also. Okay guys, so see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye. Okay guys, welcome to part 3 of cookies and the remember me checkbox function. So we already made all the changes that we have to do, and basically we just have to test if it all works. So the first thing I'm going to do is to open the browser and log in as Rock. Okay, that was our username, Rock, and password 12345, and I'm going to unclick this first and log in. Okay, Rock session. Okay, I have here additional line. I don't want to, because okay, let's go to session.php, and down here I have this extra HR that I have to delete. Okay, now if I go back to the browser, refresh, perfect. Okay, so I have in session.php I have my picture, my name session, I have the logout button, and I have edit user, delete user, and search user. If I click edit user, a session has already been started, ignoring session start in session.php. Open, enter, where is it? Enter.php, open that. Okay, we will use this file here. Enter. Let's go to login.php, and in here let's type enter.php, save that, enter, include session. Okay, that's great. And in session, let's take this out, session start, and this we don't need this as well. And if we go down here, let's delete all this. Okay, perfect. Okay, now it should work all perfectly. So let's go here, let's type logout. Okay, let's type here, type Rock. Let's type 12345, login, perfect. If we click edit user, if we click delete user, we can delete whatever we want, search user, Okay, all working perfectly with our picture and our profile session, rock session. And now if I go out and click here and I restart my Chrome and I click localhost home.php, we will have to do our login form again, okay? Typing our rock again and the password, okay? Because we didn't check remember me. But now I'm going to check remember me. So rock 1 2 3 4 5, check login, okay? And now I'm going to leave the Google Chrome, and when I restart and go back to home.php, I'm going to be sent straightly to this page, and I will not have to log in, okay? So let's go out, and if I go back in, restart Chrome, okay, and if I click localhost home.php, enter, I will be resent to my profile page. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the whole code works now perfectly. Okay, and now you have a cookie set in the browser for each user, and when the user is already registered or it has a cookie in his browser as a registered user, he will not have each time that he wants to go into your website, he will not have to log in and type his username and log in to go into the web page. Okay, so let's log out. Let's log out. Okay. Session name. Okay, I have here a problem. This is wrong. Okay, I have an underscore here, so that's why I was given an error message whenever I logged out. So let's save this, and now it's all perfect. Okay, let's try that again. Rock and here 1 2 3 4 5. If I log in, rock session, let's see if it works. Edit user works perfectly. Delete user, click a user to delete. Let's try to delete a user. Yes, the user has been deleted successfully. If I go to search user and let's search for rock, click enter, and I have Rocky Balboa, okay, and I have rock. Perfect. The passwords are, and of course, MD5 encrypted hash. And now if I go, let's say, if I go out and I go back and restart Chrome, I didn't check the remember me button, so I will have to type the login again. So let's type rock. Let's type oops, 1 2 3 4 5. Check remember me, so I would not have to log in anymore. Log in. Perfect. Let's go out, restart Chrome, and now let's say home.php, click enter, and the cookie should work perfectly. Okay guys, so perfect, it's working all as it should be. So see you guys in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe. Okay, bye. Hello guys, and welcome to another video tutorial on PHP. And first of all, in this video I want to tell you that we are going to start to learn object-oriented programming, or as it says right here, OOP. Okay, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys already heard about this object thing, or these initials OOP. Okay, so OOP stands for Object Oriented Programming. This is a way to organize your code better. Okay, so this basically helps you to organize a bunch of code that you have of a website or an application, and is used not only in PHP but in a lot of other languages. Okay, so object-oriented programming basically is used a lot in big companies, okay, that have a lot of code to reuse or to organize, and have a lot of programmers at the same time using a framework. And if you don't know what a framework is, you will. I'm going to make another tutorial about frameworks, okay, later on. And basically, just think of OOP as a way to organize better your code. Okay, simple as that. But if you want to read this page, this whole page, you'll have a pretty clearer, and you will go deeper into understanding what OOP really is, okay, and how do we use it, or how we can use it to better take our code or our functions to another level. Okay, so let's go to Notepad. Let's open Notepad here. So in the videos that we did already in our about our CRUD test site, we have a lot of scripts, right, and a lot of files. So we are writing basically raw PHP code. Okay, so we start at the here at the first line, and we write whatever code, PHP code we want, mixed sometimes with HTML as well, and basically we call this raw PHP code. Okay, maybe we didn't do a lot of functions, okay, but you know what functions are. I could use some functions in here as well to better organize the code, but we didn't do a lot of that either. But it still works. You can use raw PHP whenever you have to do an application or a project or a website. And probably if you do a simple website or a simple application, raw PHP is better for you to learn, or for you to find something or organize, because it's less code, right? And you have by the names for each PHP file, you can find basically where the problem is, or where the function that you are searching for is, or the script that processes some form is, okay? And you remember by the name of the file itself, right? So, for example, we have login.php. If I was searching for the script that processes the login, I would go directly to login.php, because probably this is where the script is, or the form is in here because I named it form, or for example, edit, the script that edits and updates the user, it's here, and delete it's here. Okay, so it's pretty much self-explain how we can search for that if we use raw PHP code. Now, if we are building a big application, like for example Facebook, so if we are building a very big application, and probably we are not the only ones to use that to create the code for that application. Okay, so we have a team working together to build some website or application. It's a lot better to have a framework of object-oriented programming that we can use to work. Okay, and what this means is, for you to have a better idea, I'm going to write here. Okay, what this means is that we will have, for example, let's say we'll talk about classes. Okay, and what a class is, basically, let's call this class login. Okay, and inside class login, for example, I'm going to put in here all variables and functions that takes care of the login process. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is creating a class, and you can think of a class as a function, for example. Okay, but inside the class we can type functions and variables here. Okay, and so when I call this class login, I call this login because I know that inside it I'm going to put all variables and functions that processes a login. Okay, a login form, for example. So, for example, this is class login. Then in here I can type class register, for example. Okay, and then inside it I would type all the variables and functions about who process a register form, for example. Okay, so then what I can do is to call those classes or call those functions or variables every time I want to. Okay, because I know what they are. Okay, so basically it's we are creating groups. Okay, and each group is identifiable by his own variables or functions related to that name. Okay, or to that process name. Okay, so if I do a class login, you can type here variables and functions about the register, but it doesn't make any sense, right? Because then you will have you have to find variables and functions about login, and they are not there. They are in the register. Okay, so you have to organize yourself. Okay, when you are coding. So, for example, if we had a lot of team members, okay, and each team member dedicates himself to a different class, and don't get me wrong, a class can be thousands of lines of code. Okay, this class login, I can make here a lot of variables, functions, returned functions with parameters. I can build a lot of stuff and code a lot of stuff inside class login. Okay, what it does is that, for example, Peter, let's say Peter, you are going to define or create the class login. And that class, I want you to define variables about this, about that, about the name, the username, the whatever. Okay. Now, John, okay, the programmer John is going to dedicate himself to register. Okay. So he has to, and each of each programmer has to know what the hell is he writing and creating, and the values that is going to return, okay, inside class login. So when we are in register, or maybe, I don't know, let's create, for example, a class. This is login and register. Let's create class output, okay, and in here, class output, I can call variables and functions from login class or from the class register, and I can say if login is correct or is true. I'm sorry. If register is true, go to class register, or call the function whatever in from the register class. Okay, so now you're seeing that basically what OOP is object-oriented. Objects normally they are relating that name object to the class. Okay, so each class is basically an object. So we have object login, object register, and we can have maybe, I don't know, maybe Facebook has 1,000 or sorry, 100 or 200 classes, or maybe more. Okay, so it's pretty much a good decision to work with classes and object-oriented programming when you have a big project, okay, or a project or a website that has a lot of functionalities. Okay, guys, so that's it. This is the introduction to OOP, and now you have a little bit a pretty simple idea how OOP works. Okay, so I'm not telling you that you have to learn OOP. There are a lot of freelancers and a lot of PHP programmers that don't use OOP. Okay, you can still use the raw PHP code, okay, normal, that we did until now. But if your idea is to create or to go into a company, okay, and work into to a company of programmers or engineers, I advise you to learn as soon as possible OOP, okay? And then you will use OOP when you learn another programming language. You will use OOP basically as we did in PHP. The principles, okay, and the idea of OOP, it's and the syntax, it's pretty much the same either in PHP or in Java or in some other programming languages. Okay, so even if you learn another programming language, you'll be very familiar to the OOP style of coding. Okay, so that's it, and see you guys on the next video. Bye. Okay, hello guys, and welcome back. This is another video of PHP tutorials and OOP. And in this video we'll start coding, and I'm going to show you how to define your first classes and what classes are. So we talked a little bit about classes in the last video, but it was a very simple explanation about classes. So to define a class, let's type PHP, of course, PHP tags, and let's save this file, and let's get out of the test site. By now I think we are done with our project test site. Okay, so you can either use that project to expand it if you want to. Okay, let's go back. I want you guys to see the project. So you can use test site. Here it is. Okay, so you can use either this project to expand it if you want to, or you can use it if you want to for your future website if you want to, or you can do it with it whatever you want. Okay, so for now I'm gonna leave this here. Okay, and let's go to, I'm going to save this new file in the desktop, and I'm going to call this classes.php. And sorry, save as, just go up and classes.php, save it. Okay, so let's create our first class. And to create a class you have to type class, and you see that in Notepad the class is now in blue color, so it recognizes the code class. And now you can type whatever name you want to the class. Okay, and let's create the class, let's say my class, and in here let's type, let's say hello equals, hello world. In here I'm going to type hello 1 equals hello world. And here another variable called hello2. Here type hello world. Okay, now to call whatever variable we want, I told you in the last video that inside a class we can create either variables, okay, or sometimes we call it properties. Okay, so properties or variables, some programmers call it properties, some guys call it variables. Okay, so but they are the same thing. Okay, and functions, maybe you heard some guys or some programmers normally instead of functions they call it methods. Okay, so, but methods and functions, it's the same thing. Okay, obviously we don't type method, okay, to create a function. We type function. Okay, but for now let's focus in variables only. Okay, now to call outside the class, to call a variable, okay, we have to create the object my class first. The class is defined by this name, but this is not an object yet. Okay, this is only a class. To transform or to use either properties or methods inside this class, this my class, okay, we have to transform this class to an object. Okay, and to do that, it's a magic line of code, and you'll probably do it a lot of times. You have to type a name of a variable, whatever variable you want. Let's say object, okay, object my class equals to new. So I think we did a video about object-oriented programming in JavaScript in the series of JavaScript, and we talked about this. and how to create an object in JavaScript. So it's pretty much the same thing, okay? And as I told you in the last video, it's the same thing and same syntax, or pretty similar to each different programming language, okay, when we are using OOP. So you'll be familiar to this if you're using another programming language, okay, and OOP. So object my class is equal to new, and now the name of the class, which is my class, okay? You see here, my class, okay? So now the object and semicolon, of course. Now sorry, I forgot the parentheses. So you have to type parentheses after the name of the class, okay? So this is now an object, okay? And the object is holds inside object my class variable, okay? Now, to call, for example, let's say hello, okay? If we want to call this hello, we have to type here echo, and now we type object my class, object my class, and this little symbol right here, okay, is going to refer, okay, to the variable that you want to output, okay, inside this object. And the variable that we want to output now is hello. Okay, so we type here hello, and we don't need to type the symbol, the dollar symbol, okay, of the variable. Only the name, okay. So hello here, okay, and semicolon. And now let's save this, and let's run this, and it will not work because I have to put the file inside our virtual server. And as you already know, our virtual server is, so what you will do is to copy this. I forgot this copy. And now we have to go to the htdocs inside XAMPP. Okay, htdocs, this is the server, and in here you can paste the classes.php, paste, and there it is. Okay, so now we can call, in the URL in our browser, we can call this file. So that's it. Okay, and now let's open the browser. And here, let's type localhost / and well, the name was classes.php. Okay, and now the output is going to be syntax error. What is this? htdocs XAMPP htdocs classes.php, line 7. Okay, guys, I realize that this doesn't work because to echo something, we have to create here a function that will echo, okay, whatever variable we want. So we can, it's better this way because now I'm going to show you also how to use a function inside a class. Okay, now to use a function inside a class, we just have to type function, okay, and as we do in PHP, normal PHP or raw PHP, we just type whatever name we want to give to the function. Okay, so I'm going to call it, let's say Victor. Victor, or let's say results. Okay, and inside the function, okay, we need to take this variable here. I'm going to delete these variables because we will not need those. Okay, so we have a variable, okay, with the string hello world, and now we have a function, okay, and inside this function, this is the function that I'm going to use to echo the variable hello. So to call the variable hello and echo it, we type echo, and now we type the variable hello, but before the variable hello we have to type something which is called the this, okay, and what this means, okay, is we have to refer, okay, that we are inside the class my class, and to do that we have to type this variable. What this means is that what I'm going to call now with this symbol, okay, with this symbol here, I'm going to type now the hello, okay, so hello, and remember that to call a variable, oops, we don't need to call a variable, we don't need the symbol, the dollar symbol, okay. So what I'm doing here is inside this class call the hello variable, okay, or call the hello variable that is inside this class, and this class is my class, okay. So now we type semicolon, okay, and down here what I'm going to do now obviously is to take this out. I also have to mention you that we'll talk about this a little bit more in the next video, but for now I want you guys to type this public, okay, and the function is going to be public as well. So it's a function, it's a public function and a variable function. And don't worry, I'm going to explain you just what this is all about in the next video, okay. So public hello variable and public function result, okay, and what the function result does is echo out the hello variable. Now to call that we just have to type here object object my class, and now we have to type the symbol, okay, the symbol here, and now just type the name of the function, okay. So the name of the function is results, okay, and what this line of code is doing is calling this function, okay, which is going to echo the hello variable here, okay. So hopefully this will output hello world. So let's see if that works, and open this, refresh, and it doesn't work. Okay, why it's not working? Okay guys, so I found the error, and the problem is that you have to go to your hdocs, okay, and you'll probably have your file classes.php in here inside htdocs directory. What I want you guys to do is to rename, okay, the file, instead of classes.php, rename it to test.php, and create a new directory called test, and inside test you can put the test.php, okay, where and the test.php is where we have our code. Okay, this code here. Okay, with my class, a public variable, a public function, and then we created the object. Okay, and we called from that object we call the function result, which is this one here. Okay, and now hopefully we will see hello world. Okay, so let's go to the browser, and we have to go in here and localhost /test/test .php. Enter, and there it is. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we know how to create variables and functions inside classes. Okay, and create an object, of course. So in the next video, I'm going to show you or explain you what public or private or protected variables or functions are. Okay, so see you guys in the next video. Bye.